That is really a badass opening. I wonder who did that. We'll find out in a couple of seconds who did that. This is Street News Now. How you doing? Chris Bass with you. We do this every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. on the West Coast, where you join us for Street News Now, Five Guys and You. There's really six of us, but our fearless leader, Lee Michaels, on sabbatical. He's probably sleeping in somebody's truck. I think it's his son's truck, Corey. He's been doing that for the past few days, a few weeks. But we could hold down the fort, and he might just check in. So until he does that, we'll bring in the gentlemen who complete this program as a good sort of characters, as Lee would say, the cast of characters. Dr. Ron Ford, Mike Love, Professor Reggie Miles, and the one and only, a happy birthday to him, Buck Wilde.
Hey. And see, you can say that because it was your birthday the other day, too. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Virgos,
Thank you so much.
we are the best. We are the best. Thank you.
Yeah, how you doing, gentlemen? How's everything?
Good.
Love in the hood.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, Mike was loud. He said, Mike said, good.
I feel
good. Awesome. And you know what's so funny? When that intro played, you know what I was thinking?
What's
I was like, damn, that's a badass intro.
That's because you did it.
Right.
Exactly,
and then you said it. I was like, my man. See? Virgos.
It really is good. It's a
really
great intro for the show. I mean, it steps up our game like 2%.
Yeah. but you know, the crazy part about it, he couldn't wait for somebody to tell his name in relationship to the intro. He had to just step forward and say, I'm here.
Damn right. Okay. If I ain't tuned my
light-skinned thing, man, they got to do it. They got rules. Light-skinned people like Sammy, like Buck, they got rules for their approach.
We do.
They got rules.
We do. Okay. Thanks for schooling me. You know what? You know what's really crazy though? I really didn't know anything about the whole light skin, dark skin thing. Being from California, we ain't like that. You're black, you're black.
Everybody out there is like light skinned. I remember when light skinned people went to LA in droves. Now were you born out there?
I was born there, yeah.
Yeah, but see, I had like cousins and play sisters and they couldn't wait to get to Los Angeles, to get to California.
Yeah, but see, there's a difference though. I'm from Northern California, the cool part.
Where
LA is full of fake Negroes. Okay,
where all the people that switch are from.
Hey.
There are quite a few though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my God!
The Bay Area. Yeah. You know, we can't say too much. We got a little dude as a mayor, so we can't say too much. But out there where you from?
That was cold, Ron.
Little dude's a little dude.
It just hit me. I was like, oh.
Who's a little dude?
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yes.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay.
If you don't know, you stay away from it.
Okay, I'll tell you. Openly gay woman that's short, that's the mayor of the Chicagoland area.
With the teeny weeny afro.
Yes.
Oh. She black?
Yeah.
Stop it.
No, I just thought I'd ask.
Yes, yeah. With a white woman. With a white
woman. No, even worse. Shame on her. Not for being gay, but for being with a white woman.
Oh.
We
are off the radar.
Hey, you can like who you like. Hey, let me tell you, in all seriousness, a gay guy told me once, and you know, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm going to have gay friends, right? And that's cool. They're cool with me. Yeah. But the gay guy told me, he says, do you think that we choose to be gay? We don't want to be gay. I was like, well, then stop. He's like, you can't help who you're attracted to. Just like I'm attracted to fine-ass women. Can't help it. Can't help it. They don't want me anymore, but still, I'm still attracted to them.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, you proved that last week when we had a guest on.
Oh, yeah. Over her, man.
Look.
Dude, Buck, he was all over her. That's why I brought up Chris when I said, were they in a relationship? Because I was kind of trying to calm Buck down. Because he was just like, hey, you know who you with? Hey, what's going on? You know, how'd you get on
I didn't say that. I did not say that, Negro. Please, come on.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it. It's like, are y'all together? And then when it wasn't until Mike brought it up that I was like, "Can we do a replay of this? Can we play?" Because she was kind of
you did. Yeah, you did.
She was kind of hot.
You look like the coyote on the Roadrunner.
Look, you was like, look, you can talk for the rest of the night. All I want to do is hear you talk.
Yeah, you know. Shut up, man. I'm trying to hear your girl. I mean, I don't know if it's your girl or not, but I want to hear her talk.
Hey, I did all that after that Negro left. Okay.
Yeah.
Pushed him out the room.
Yeah. The dude called himself on the phone and said he had to leave the conversation.
Right. Hey, did I hear something?
Oh, that's a good one.
Phone even wasn't on vibrate.
Oh, man.
And he knows what. As she went to the other room, Buck started to slobber knock. Slob was coming out of your mouth and everything else.
Hey, because you know good and well it was one of his other hoes calling him up talking about, "Hey, what are you doing, Joe?" Or whatever his name is.
And then you challenged the man. Y'all gonna get married? You know, you just went
hard. No, that was Mike did that.
Yeah, I challenged.
Yeah, Mike did that shit.
It was something about the conversation that was crazy. It was something about the conversation that just wasn't. You know, all of a sudden it was like they were talking in third person to each other. And that's when I said, "Wait a minute, hold on, are y'all connected?" You know.
And he said, "I feel the pressure."
And then I really put it on him. I said, "Well, y'all want to get together? Y'all want to do something?" And then all of a sudden the bat phone rang. Whoop, gotta go. See you later, bye.
What up, Al Greer? He just gave a little shout out on the chat right there. What up, man?
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, how's everybody doing? What are we talking about this week? This should be fun.
Bass.
Oh hell! Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned about the whole thing about the about gays and lesbians. Is really that's the topic I'm going to bring up about a recent pastor who passed away, who was openly gay. So let me set this up for everybody. So here's the story. So let's get into it. So this pastor name was Carl Bean, a preacher, performer, and activist who inspired Lady Gaga's Born This Way, passed away at the age of 77.
Oh, wow.
In a statement from Unity Fellowship Church Movement, which Bean founded and was the archbishop, said he passed away Tuesday of a lengthy illness. Bean, openly gay Motown disco singer, released the song I Was Born This Way in 1977. It quickly became an embraced by a gay liberation movement, and it appeared 8 weeks on the Billboard's Dance Club Song charts and peaked at number 15 in 1978. Earlier this year,
I did not know that was a remake. Did everybody know that was a remake?
I'm at the first part of the story about it. I'm confused.
Yeah, let me go further. So earlier this year, Lady Gaga.
So you'd be further confused.
It'll make sense. I know that's why we'll get your comment about this. Okay. In the comment section. Earlier this year, Lady Gaga publicly commented on how his song inspired her song "Born This Way." It goes on to say that after his music career, Bean moved towards religion and activism. 1982, he founded the Unity Fellowship Church Movement, which later recognized as the first Black church for LGBTQ plus people, according to the release on his website. The church focuses on all-embracing progressive theology with a focus on social activism, the message that God is for everyone, notes the website and the autobiography.
And that was in Chicago.
Where was that? This is going on. This is in L.A.
In L.A. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Northern California, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's L.A. is in Southern California.
Oh, damn.
Right. In 1985, Bean founded the Minority AIDS Project, which continues to provide a comprehensive services for HIV/AIDS prevention, treatment, and care for low-income people of color in Los Angeles. In 2019, an intersection in LA was designated Archbishop Carl Bean Square. So all of these things he has done, the great achievements, and despite him, I wouldn't say despite, but here's the thing where it gets kind of dicey with certain people. He is or was an archbishop, founding his own church. Why do you think some religions or faith-based organizations would be uncomfortable with an openly gay leader/preacher?
Well, you know what? So I grew up Lutheran. Okay, I grew up Lutheran, and it was a very conservative section of the Lutheran Church called the Missouri Synod. All right, Missouri Synod. And there was no female preachers or nothing. So I guess as I got to be an adult, I went to one where there was a female, it was a different synod. It was a different part of the Lutheran Church. And there was a female pastor. And that was kind of uncomfortable to me. I know I just not used to, I just wasn't used to it. And I think that people just aren't used to gay and lesbian preachers just because they're just not used to it. My personal opinion.
But you said that the minister was gay. I mean, was a female, right? Or
right.
It was
right.
But she wasn't gay.
No. I was saying I was uncomfortable with a female pastor giving the sermon. So I'm saying that maybe people are just uncomfortable with gay and lesbian preachers because they're just not used to them.
Or just the fact that they're a heterosexual person is what we're accustomed to.
Right, exactly. And the whole gay thing kind of makes people a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
Well, in most organized religions, let me just jump in here and say this. For many, many hundreds of years, they did not acknowledge women in ministry.
Right.
In any role other than, usher at the door, maybe singing in the choir, the church minutes on occasion. But they were not really allowed to hold positions of authority in their organizational structure. So fast forward to 20-something, it has become more of a socially acceptable way of performing duties in the church. Some women establish churches, they pastor, they lead, they do all of the duties in the church now, and it's more politically correct now than it's ever been. But it was, I hate to quote a song because the professor's on the air, because
that's his thing.
Right. But like they used to sing that song. It was a man's world. It's a man's world.
Oh,
Professor, you got anything to say?
After James Brown got done with that song, I truly believed it.
So, and now that the church world has allowed to have same-sex marriages and same-sex leaders, in certain religious organizations, it's all together looked upon as like it's okay. Is
it okay?
Why wouldn't it be okay?
I don't know.
I think it's okay.
There are a lot of people who think that it's not.
Let me say this.
Okay.
When you really, really get into the word of God, there are no divisions to gender.
Okay.
It really isn't. Now, a lot of the biblical stories that you'll hear, in reference to Saul and Samuel and David and so on and so forth, they kind of lead the pack. But I haven't seen anything in there that brings a division in gender. I think it puts a time and a place of what women did versus what men do as far as duties to their gender, what a woman does versus what a man does.
So, okay, but Jed says something interesting. Jed Barrett, do matriarchal based religions do better than matriarchy? Maybe there's something about the whole the patriarchy thing. You know what I mean? I think that's an interesting point. Maybe because we're a patriarchal based society. Maybe that has a lot to do with it too. Is that I don't know if that's what Jed was saying, but
and that's deep what he said. He went over my head a little bit, but I mean I kind of get it. It's
right.
It's whatever was put out there at the time, and people tend to. It's just like we see, XYs and millennials follow all the stuff that's in social media, the TikToking and everything else is going on, and it seems like the world has always been based around that. Someone gets in that position, and everybody wants to be like that person.
Right.
Now, once again, God made all of us.
Yeah.
And there are no descriptive words in the Bible that talks about a split or a division between male and female as far as what the expectations of faith is all about. And I'm not a minister, so I'm not trying to go there. I'm just saying it's just kind of it's easy for us to be judgmental against something that we didn't create. We didn't create it. So
Well,
I don't know where it comes from.
Now here's an interesting thing. These preachers, these LGBTQ preachers are at LGBTQ congregations, correct?
I don't know because I don't know.
Is that it, Chris? Chris.
Well, in this situation, Carl Bean created his own church.
Right. So, but is it a gay church?
Well, hold on a second. That's not the question. He said that Carl Bean was an archbishop. What was it? Archbishop Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Catholic? Well, what?
Lutherans don't have archbishops.
Well, in the story, it doesn't say about denomination or religion. It says that he created his own church.
But you said he was an archbishop,
right?
So he's got to be.
So I see. He made himself an archbishop of his own church. That makes sense.
Okay.
He just created a title.
Maybe he did.
But what I'm saying is, if he's an LGBT, my guess, total guess, and I'll admit I'm just guessing. You know, back in the day, Mike, you remember I used to say stuff and just sound like I knew what I was talking about. I'm really totally guessing here.
Day before yesterday, you did something like that. But
2 days ago. Yeah, I said, I'm guessing that more than likely it was a gay church. So if a gay church,
what's your definition of a gay church?
Most of the members are gay and they feel comfortable going into a gay church.
But would that make it a gay church because the members?
Gay congregation. Okay, gay congregation, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Or maybe he serves okay, there you go. Maybe he serves a gay congregation.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because you can't say it's a gay church.
Well,
there's no such thing as a gay church.
Is there not? I don't know.
Ron, is there such thing?
I defer that answer to that question to the professor.
Professor.
Hello? You all know I am not participating in this at all. I'm gonna listen to y'all.
I know you have been really quiet.
Yeah.
Surprisingly quiet.
I thought he was gonna make a James Brown reference because he went to turn around. I thought he was getting ready to summon James. No, I feel good.
You know, I'm not dealing with that. You know, you all can handle that.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this.
Okay.
In religion, you can make up the rules and adjust them accordingly because it's a religion, and religion is man-made.
Right.
Okay. So now, if you're going to deal with spirituality,
man-made but God-inspired. That's what the whole purpose.
You can ask me a question and answer it too.
No, I was just interjecting.
Oh, you got in trouble.
But if you're dealing with spirituality, God can inspire anyone any kind of way he wants to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, because God got the final say so of everything.
Everything.
Okay. So what we may conceive and construe as a negative, God may have a plan for that negative. Okay. And he does not have to share what that plan is
at all
with us. Case in point, one of the stories in the Bible says that Samson was chasing after all the Philistine women that he could have.
Weren't they white women? I'm just asking. I think the Philistines were white women. Weren't they white women?
I don't know.
They were other than his own race. So we'll just leave it like that.
White women.
Pretty
white women with the blonde hair.
Well, what's wrong with that? And you ain't never chased a white woman before.
I'm just asking.
So once that woman, Delilah was her name, tricked him into revealing his secret, beguiled him, then God still had a plan, because it looks like he had fell from grace by revealing the secret that he and God had between the two of them. But the redeeming factor was that in his death, he killed more Philistines in his death than he did in his life. So God had a plan, even though it looked like he had fell from favor and fell to disgrace. by what it looked like by everybody else, but at the end, God still got glory because he killed more Philistines in his death than he did in his life. So I'm not going to be presumptuous to say I know what the plan is for allowing openly gay marriages and openly gays to rule and run.
But you are saying that God has a plan, right?
I said God can have a plan.
No, God has a plan.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Well, I have a question then. Then how do you figure free will into all this?
Oh, there you go. Here we go.
No, I'm asking.
Here we go.
In other words,
man, I got to go get a drink now. Here we go.
I have mine right here on the show.
Hey, I got my beer.
I was trying to be cool, but I'm trying to be cool, but y'all trying to bring me in this. You know, I'm about
to see what you did, Chris.
Hey,
I mean,
trying to bring me in this here, but I'm on.
Hey, listen. I mean, I believe that God really hopes for the best for us, and that we just tend to let him down all the time. At least I know I do.
Well, check this out now. Check this out. Check this out. When have you listen, I don't want to go up there and talk to God about nothing right now.
Amen.
I'm not as heavy. I'm not as heavy as you cats understanding what God is and what he knows.
Okay.
I have not if I know I'm going up there talking to him, I know I'm not here. So I want to stay right here for right now. You understand? So you all can think about what God said. You can do that all you want, because don't none of us know jack about what God is. We just thinking we don't know.
Well, you know what? If we read the Bible says a lot about what God says.
Yeah,
a lot.
And I can dig that too. Now, don't get me going on to it, but the Bible ain't what you read. It's what you think you read. You know, because there was, Reggie, why did you start this guy, dog it? You understand the Bible was rewritten.
It was about 26 different translations.
Translated doesn't mean rewritten.
Yeah.
Translated. And so the early Bible, like, you know, we do know, we all learned in early world history, we learned about this point called the Crusades.
Right.
We all learned that. That's when these ancient stories was rewritten. And until we get those scrolls which were destroyed, we don't know, man. We just assuming stuff because remember now, part of this, as Dr. Ron says, this religion was to enslave.
That's what it was believed to be.
Well, okay, so hold on a second. If it was to enslave, what about the same religion that was shared by non-enslaved people, meaning like the white people? Remember, not everybody was slaves in the early United States. Then we're just talking United States. We're not even talking about Europe. Christianity started long before even the 13 colonies came along. So how is it?
All I want to know is
for enslavement.
I want to know is the Hewed version of the Bible, not the European version of the Bible. I want to know the Hewed version, because you know that the version of the Bible that we've been dealing with is from a brother by the name of King James.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot more versions than just King James version.
Well,
I don't even read the King James version, because I don't want to hear all the these and thous.
When you say Christianity, and you know I'm a Christian, I love that kind of stuff, but there is something deeper than what we have as the Bible. As a matter of fact, let me get down here. Y'all have to leave me alone. See, because I have one of these things here.
Okay, and that makes you more credible.
This was the Jubilee version of the Bible, written by a brother that was at Howard University, Dr. Kane Hope Field.
Okay. I'm listening.
Right, so I'm gonna just leave it right there, because I'm not going to get into who said. Because listen,
you know, I'll look it up.
Did you get the call? Did you get? Hey, how you doing, Buck? Hey, Reg, this is God. What's up? Have you got that call? So you really don't know. You just really assuming what you think. And that's, everybody thinks they got this direct connect with God.
It's called faith.
I mean, listen, I can dig that. Listen, I can dig that too. But I'm gonna tell you, I have people in my family that are of the what they call it, the alternate lifestyle. And I don't care what the people in my family do in this alternate lifestyle, because I'm a godly man and I'm gonna love them, period.
That's what
there you go. About. Amen, amen, amen.
You know, I do know this. The sin is hated, but not the sinner. See, I'm not as deep as y'all.
But the sinner can be forgiven.
Listen, that's what the cross is all about, but I'm not going there. But I'm just, listen, if to me, right to me, with my family, if you're faced with that, what you going to do? Are you going to kick that person to the curb? Are you going to throw them are you going to do them like they do with the witches of Eastwick? Are you going to burn them to the stake? What you going to do? I'm going to love mine. I'm going to hate what they do, keep that to myself, but I'm going to love mine. So I don't know what you cats going to do.
Well, you know what?
Hey, I don't need a call from God to tell me to do that, because that's already in me.
And you know, it's really a
right
shame.
now, Rev. You preaching, Reggie.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, you know what? And I really, I don't understand people who don't know how to accept others. I'm just an accepting kind of person.
That's because you keep talking about it. Why you gotta tell somebody? Well, you gotta accept me. Come on, man. Right. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what pisses me off.
Okay.
Diversity and all those other things is just a move to keep pushing us to the back of the line. So when are we gonna be loved? When are the brothers gonna be loved? When are the brothers gonna be loved? Okay. I don't mind a person that wants to have whatever kind of relationship with what, but listen, this right here can't be changed.
Woo!
This here can't be changed, baby. I was BORN with this color, and ever since I've been here, I've been disliked because of this color. And so now the laws have been made to whatever you want to sleep with and whatever you want to do is equal to me having this color. And I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I wish I could just change this and just take it off and be a lighter skin, but it ain't gonna happen.
But Reggie, this color is so dominant that people go to suntan studios to get it. People go to beaches to get this color.
But it doesn't take away their white privilege.
Well, it doesn't.
Otherwise, they would not do it, bro. They wouldn't do it. They'd be like, "Oh, well,
I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't speak on that. All I know is it's something about when they, whoever they may be, see this color that ain't this color. There's some reason why they want to be this color.
Well,
because it's pretty.
Well, listen.
This right here. You see this?
The rays of the sun. The rays of the sun is going to burn their skin.
Well, it burns everybody's skin.
We can take it. People.
No, Nick, bro. No. No.
But
your shit burns too.
You can't.
Your shit burns too. Come on. Now.
But you burn worse.
The sun, and that may be true. But it'll
he
burn.
Part of them.
Yeah.
You play both sides of the fence.
Only half of me.
Yeah. Look, you got one side over here, and one side over there.
Look, let me go back just a little bit because Professor said something that I think is very pertinent that I need to throw this in right here.
Okay.
When you talk about the rewrites and the translations, they have in Washington, D.C. right now a Bible museum that displays every translation of the Bible and every rewrite of the Bible. And to the point where whoever is doing the rewrite for whatever purpose they chose to use the Bible for whatever form of manipulation or malfeasance that exists. There is a museum in Washington, D.C. In that museum, there is a slave's translation.
I can see that.
Slaves were allowed
I can see that.
to have in order to be able to solidify what the white folks was doing to us during slavery.
But that's odd, though, because slaves couldn't read. They weren't allowed to be taught to read.
That was the first book that they allowed us to be able to read on.
But they had to teach us how to read first, and that was illegal. So I don't get that.
But you're talking about different eras of slavery.
Well,
okay.
40 years is a
long time.
Yes. So when you got to the point where y'all can read now, here's the book we want you to read.
Or maybe it was the slaves who would preach, the preachers who would preach to the slaves. Maybe that was the version that they preached from. I don't know.
Now, wait a minute. Y'all, now I got to go get a drink.
I thought you did that already.
I'm gonna have to go get another one. First of all, whoever the preachers were, they had to get their message okayed from the masters,
from the plantation owners.
Okay, the preachers were caught. Listen, you all have forgot about the existence of Nat Turner.
Yes, I have not. I was gonna bring it up.
You all have forgot about this man,
right there.
and you all have forgot the fact that he rebelled on that. He was mad.
Explain that.
He was mad because they were bringing him in there to tell those people a lie. What he knew from him reading and finding out what the Bible was about, what he believed, it was a lie.
Yes,
it was a lie.
Yes,
and he didn't want to do his people like that.
Right. He didn't want to do that. Travel him from plantation to plantation because they wanted him to influence what they thought and what they believed based off what they told him to think, to tell them.
Right. But the word took over.
Yes. And look, when they executed him, they ripped his skin off
and everything.
And man, they disfigured that man so bad they hung him. They quartered him and sent his body parts to the four corners of the earth so that there would never be two parts of him in the same time zone. They wanted to make sure that whatever he represented to the slaves,
it would never come back again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that plan didn't go far.
How much farther back or forth was Willie Lynch, the guy who came from the
he came
Caribbean,
from the West Indies,
right?
The slave owners how to get the slaves to work together to get the job done,
and how to suppress them.
Yeah, well, too. But the problem was they weren't making money because they were busy suppressing them instead of getting the work out of them.
Oh, I see. Hey, Ron, what was the?
We got to talk about the Willie Lynch thing. You can't go past that.
Now, okay.
It said that Willie Lynch was not a proven document or a proven person. The whole statement said, was not.
They're saying that it's false.
They were saying there's no way to prove it.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, because I know that Muslims used to spread that around a lot. American Muslims.
Okay.
When they talked about slavery and why the condition that we have is the way that it is, it was an explanation that was given, because of what Willie Lynch had did and established back in the day. But it was said, and some people will dispute that it's real. Some people will say that it's not real. So, I just wanted to throw that out there, in addition to.
Well, let me say the following. I knew another brother in broadcasting. He has since passed away. And I remember one time we had a conversation, and he said, talking on the radio is my ministry.
Okay.
I said, damn, that's pretty deep.
That's deep.
And because he was right. And I break it down to the ministry just because it could be in the church does not mean it could be outside of a church. That's just a place. So, for example, the great Louis Armstrong did a song called Black and Blue, which is really a protest song. One of the lyrics in there always caught my attention. The only sin is in my skin. What did I do to be so black and blue. That was him on stage saying, I can't help to going back to what Professor said. I was BORN this way.
Period.
So I can't change that. And then to go next generation of Billie Holiday, who was a student of Louis Armstrong, she does what? Strange Fruit.
Yeah. That was a powerful song.
So you see that correlation and connection.
Oh, yeah.
So who's to say that, for example, Louis Armstrong or Billie Holiday, probably the Hulu special that came out about the United States versus Billie Holiday, that's a form of ministry.
Oh, absolutely.
When you break it down for what it is. And when you have a certain ministry, the powers that be have to come after you. Yeah. As we've seen with a Malcolm X, or we've seen with Medgar Evers or Dr. King. You know what's interesting? I want everybody to get a chance to check out the one and only Dick Gregory, the documentary on Showtime. Okay. That is a must watch.
I don't have Showtime. Crap.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's all right. Dr. Ron knows how to get illegal cable, legal stuff, and everything.
Go ahead, Dr. Ron.
Of course. Yeah. And some good weed, too, if you need some.
What?
Oh, see, there you go. That's your connect. But if you check it out, once again, not giving anything away because it's documented, the correlation and connection that Dick Gregory has with Medgar Evers, in this order, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and Dr. King, is amazing. How close he became to all three of these civil rights, icons.
But think about it, it was a small amount of people, Chris. I mean, there were a lot of people being taken advantage of, and a small amount who had a chance to see the inside and really where the weaknesses were, because they were entertainers.
Right.
So a lot of times these guys would have an affection for a black entertainer because they thought, wow, he's really talented. Remember, they always wanted to mimic us. Mm-hmm. And so once they would find out, they would bring it back to the tribe and say, hey, this is really what it is. I feel, they would even be encouraged, from what I'm understanding, sometimes to go back to their race and say, this is what it is. But they couldn't hold a second.
I'm sorry. Somebody just put in the comments that Willie Lynch was black.
I don't know of him being black.
He said Willie Lynch was black, not a white person.
Listen, all I know, he came in from the West Indies.
Right. I would not have known that he was white. I was black. That's the craziest thing I've heard in my life. I don't know how true that is, but I just saw that was. That's what he said.
That calls for another drink.
Right here, baby. Right here. I got you.
Now,
look. You all gonna be drunk in the next half hour. Keep drinking
I was drunk a half hour ago.
There you go.
Let me throw this out there. When we start talking about black and white during slavery time, there were so many slave masters that slept with black women that created children. That
you mean like Thomas Jefferson? I'm sorry.
That look like they can pass for white. So I just wanted to throw that out there just to mess up the conversation a little bit more.
You know what? My mom was watching The Butler the other night, and
where was your dad when all that happened?
Huh?
Where was your dad when all that happened? Oh, you mean the movie? I thought you meant your mom was watching it.
No, the movie. And did you remember seeing that movie and going and looking for Mariah Carey and be like, that's Mariah Carey? She looked like shit in that movie. I was like, oh goodness.
What? Maybe that was on purpose.
maybe so. I was like, listen, when we were in New York, I saw Mariah Carey in person and she was hot. But that was back then. But in that movie, I was like, oh.
I've seen Mariah Carey in person, and that was before the story came out. I was in New York, and they were bringing her, one of her songs had come out, and, they was bringing her around the radio people and everything. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that she was visibly looking like a white woman, but it was distracting to see her as a black woman.
Until she opened her mouth and she was ghetto.
Yeah. Yeah. When you saw her, it was almost like, because there's a distinctive part of a light-skinned Black person versus a pure white person.
Damn right. Right. Exactly. And I was just talking to a friend from California the other day, and she was like, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. This is my cousin. She said, when you're Black, you can spot, especially being from California, you can spot other Black people, even when they're mixed with something else. Because a lot of times, there's a lot of people that might look Black, but, you never really know. But, when you're from California and you're used to seeing a lot of mixed people, and that's the key. There's a lot of mixed people in California, Northern, but especially Southern California. We can always spot the Negro. Oh, yeah, what up, dog? And they were like, yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah. And I mean, somebody just put on there talking about red bones. And it was the same thing because now that's something that came out of New Orleans, didn't it, Ron?
I don't know if it originated in New Orleans or not, but it was something that traveled all across the country because there were so many mixed families everywhere, and then we just kind of just as vernacular. We would call them, dark chocolate. We had different degrees of chocolate and vanilla that we would talk about, folks.
But where does the word bone, red bone? How can you see? You can't see nobody's bones. How does their bones get red?
I never questioned it. I never questioned it personally.
Explain that to you later, Buckwild.
Yeah, tell me in the post game.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
that's what Google's for.
I don't think you look up red bone. I don't think it is.
I'm not sure if that definition is one that's going to be true, but I think Chris is getting ready to enlighten us with something about red bone.
Go ahead,
thank
Chris.
You very much. There you go. I think so. Told this story before many times. My uncles, when I was coming up, when you saw a nice-looking woman, particularly nice-looking light-skinned woman, and she walked down the street, and I had my uncles with me, and I was about 7, 8 years old. It's like, hello, how you doing, Sylvester? I'm doing all right. And walked past, nephew, that's a good red bone. Yeah. And he said just like that. So I thought that's how you said it. So I'm 7 years old talking about, red bone.
I like that. I like that.
Red bone.
So red bone. I mean, you couldn't say just red bone or red bone. No, you had to say red bone. So years later, I'm working at a job, and this one lady pops up, and
speaking of red bone,
not red bone, not red bone Lee.
Right on time.
He couldn't take it. We started talking about red bone. He's like, hey,
I gotta come to control this.
What's up, Lee?
Y'all killing me. I said I wasn't gonna come in. I was just gonna let y'all have it, but y'all are all over the place. Y'all are going through a religion, racism.
Yes. We kept it in the R's.
Skin.
We kept it in the R's.
Well, that's true.
Red bone, religion, racism.
We're somewhat focused.
I just don't know where you're at now.
Look. Just hang on, brother.
Y'all gonna drive me drinking.
Look, everybody. Everybody in the basement got a glass.
But me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But you shouldn't have no problems as a red bone getting a drink. So I mean that.
No. Or you could drink.
There you go.
Or you could drink some prune juice or Metamucil or something. I mean, anything is available.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God, I had to go to the Vineyard, California, and GALLO.
Communion wine, brother. We understand.
I like Manischewitz.
Because you brothers are DEEP. You all have went across Funkadelic. I don't know where the hell we are.
I want you to spell that word.
What, Funkadelic?
Yeah.
Man, you need to go to a Parliament album. Just go to a Parliament album. I think go.
No, he was asking you to spell it. That's what it was. You.
Listen, I'm not that smart.
I ain't gonna spell it.
You're a professor.
I can't spell it.
Just
I don't get it. Come on.
That doesn't mean that I know how to spell funk intellectually or funk intellectually.
That's not what your PhD's for. That spelling.
No.
I have a PhD
really,
in spelling.
Hey, Reggie, you know what's really crazy about what you're saying?
Yes.
That same organization named a DJ, some of us know, Jockenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that same funk cat.
Mm-hmm. Out of East St. Louis.
Listen. If you just think, and we're going into another thing, just imagine the Funkadelic albums and the liner notes on the Funkadelic albums. Were they not deep?
They were knee deep.
Yeah,
knee deep. Oh, I like that.
The liner notes from Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Cosmic slop.
The kingdom of heaven lies within. You know?
Eulogy and light. I mean, some of the things that these cats. I mean, what was George Clinton on?
Some really strong fentanyl before it came out.
He ain't stopped yet. What you mean? Was past tense, you know?
And I mean, well, I can't say what is he on now because I haven't seen it, but I know that they was going crazy then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think of those album covers. Just think of the album, especially the Cosmic Slop one where they had the naked woman and she had like the radio tuning knobs on her chest. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were the famous the most popular drugs you guys were doing back then, Professor?
Who?
In the 60s and 70s.
Professor forgot his
60s
name.
and 70s, you know. Just asking.
Man, who? Man, back then.
Back then.
You know, and back then it was just refer.
I mean reefer.
Right. No,
that was just it. That was it.
Referred. He was referred to it.
Yes, absolutely. And there were two types back in the day.
Okay.
It was the regular and then Colombo.
Mm-hmm.
Colombo.
Colombo.
Yeah.
You had
Cocoa Gold.
Yeah, there you go, Ron.
Yeah,
there you go.
Sesame.
What was the one?
There you go.
What was the one? What was the one with the little red hairs in it? I forgot what the name of that one was.
That was the red bone.
And then you had the regular green commercial.
Right back to you. They bring it right back to you, boy.
See how we brought that around. See how that went around.
See how that works.
Well, I remember hearing about that because I didn't do that, of course, back then.
We are in rare form again today.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta tell a story.
The hook.
I gotta tell a story, and I'm gonna ask our executive producer if it's okay for me to tell a DJ drug story. Lee?
You talk about any damn thing you want to.
Okay. I wasn't expecting to get whooping. You just say whatever you want to say. So I'm working in Springfield, and I'm working at a pop station. And I get the word that George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic is going to be in St. Louis. And I don't know where this came into my state of mind, maybe because I was being influenced by, stuff with little red hairs in it. I'm going to go and interview him. So I tell the program director, hey, I want to put George, because they were talking about it. Now, I was actually the only black person that worked at this radio station.
Hold a second, and wait, and a pop station played George Clinton?
They weren't playing it. They did a story on it.
Okay.
And so they were talking something that he had done, and they were doing a story on it. And I said I knew who it was. And so somebody in the interview said, I'd love to talk to him. So I volunteered to go do it. Me. So I go down to the Kiel Auditorium. Lee's very familiar with this place. I get to it, in advance. I talk to the record person. I get the interview. And so I'm backstage waiting to interview George Clinton. And George comes out and he takes me into a bathroom stall and calls over Sir No's Devoid of Funk.
Which was a different person.
Yes, he was a member of the group.
Oh,
he pulls out this canister, like, you know how people dip into snuff? And Sir Nose had a long fingernail. He dips down in it and pulls it out, and it's pure coke, and he shoves it up my nose.
Oh!
And I literally fell backwards, hit my head on the toilet bowl, and passed out.
Because the white powder went up your nose accidentally.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, it's because I accidentally didn't move out the damn way. These guys, and then years later, just maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, a story came out that George when they were on the road, he really wasn't paying them a lot of money. He paid them
in drugs.
Wow.
Exactly. That wasn't just a story.
That was for real.
Wow. Yeah, it was
That was for real.
Yeah.
And then
it was a story that was a major.
So they were all just having one big party.
Yeah, but he won a major lawsuit because they were cheating him out of his money for decades. You know, and he won a major lawsuit. Yeah.
I have to find the documentary. I was watching a documentary about George Clinton and how he created Parliament and Funkadelic and starting from a doo-wop band back in the day. So by the time...
And conking hair.
Right, conking, right, the conking his hair and everything else. Yeah. So by the time, about 25 minutes in, so obviously they were interviewing various people on the dock. All of a sudden, it's like this one dude, and it went from like one dude to a string of people. Hey, man, I got to sit here and tell you the truth, man. Fuck George. George ain't shit. And then the next person's like, yeah, George ain't shit. He didn't pay me anything. So they had like 5 people in a row say the exact same thing from different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And George ain't shit. And so because of the fact he didn't pay him, he paid him in marijuana.
Wow.
Well, I'm telling you, that blow that he had that we respectfully call it on the street was nothing to play with.
It was he probably got it from Florida before they cut it.
I don't know.
I don't know how I know that. Hey, but you know what? I've read an article once on Roger. You know, Roger was one of my favorite artists growing up. And I was reading an article about it. Roger was the one, George Clinton was the one who got Roger his first solo deal after he had made it big with Zapp, right? And but what was crazy was, and this, I don't know how this exactly happened, but George Clinton paid for the production of the album, the one with Heard It Through the Grapevine and So Rough, So Tough, or whatever, you know, the songs were on that album. But here's the thing, is in some sort of legal dispute, he lost $5 million in production costs over rights or whatever it was. So anyways, he put up all the money for the album and ended up losing it all because Warner Brothers yanked it away. Wow. And he was salty about that too. But he is the one who gave Roger his first solo album, that Many Facets of Roger, which was a phenomenal album. Yeah, it was an incredible album. Yeah, but George Clinton was the one behind it because George was a big fan of Roger, and Roger was, of course, big fan of George.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how those guys function with the amount of drugs that they took.
That's how they were able to function.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was a way of life for all musicians. I did a lot of touring back during that time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and,
I was there.
And I tell you, man, look, it was more drugs, not just for the entertainers, but the crew. You know?
Oh, nice. They shared.
Yeah, no, we didn't share. We had our own shit. But
y'all know that was a way. Y'all know that was a way for the elites or the people in behind it to get that money back from you that they gave you.
Because they sold them the drugs?
Yeah, they sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't give it to you unless they were paying you off. But most of the time, that same person that had that was selling it to his own people. So you just got paid, and then you taking that money and giving it back for the drugs.
Right. That's right.
That is some BS.
And I think all that is set up to go like that. Even when you look at, and then I'm getting ready to throw another name out here. Even when you look at the plight of Robert Kelly now, That boy, when he does get finished with whatever he does, he will not have his catalog at all.
Wow. No, the lawsuits they'll need that catalog to pay off.
But his catalog's going to be worthless because nobody wants to have anything to do with his music now because his name is so tarnished.
I mean, for right now.
Yeah, well,
and even that's not true. There's still a lot of people because his catalog is, stretches far and wide. There's still a lot of people that play his music. Now,
I don't know a single radio station that plays his music.
He said people.
People. And okay.
Now, radio stations politically correctness backed up off of them. But then there were some that came out and said, look, he got too much good music out here. We're going to play his music.
But but the thing is that radio stations don't do stuff like that just because they don't want to or because of their personal feelings. They are responsible. They're responding to how they feel like their audiences feel. So in other words, if they feel like everybody in their audience wants to hear R. Kelly, they'll play R. Kelly. They don't care if he just screwed an elephant. I mean,
I think the advertisers also have an impact on that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But do the white advertisers? Why don't I throw race in this all the time? I don't know. But do the white advertisers really know or care about R. Kelly?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not in advertising. So
they know what affects their money. Okay, come on now. Let's tell the truth. So. Everybody been in the business long enough to know they're gonna make that phone call, as the professor would say. Hey, this is going to affect our money. We got to make a move. Let's do this. This is the new rule number 7,833. No R. Kelly for the next 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah. End of story. Okay. That's the way it goes.
But you know what I never understood? You know what I never understood? So the advertisers, that was a good one. But you know what I never quite understood? When a radio station, and I'm not going to get on this radio thing. But we got.
We gonna get on it because I got something.
We got some bunch of radio people in here, but I never quite understood how a radio station get pissed off at a record company for screwing them over on an artist deal. Say the artist supposed to come do a show and they renege at the last minute. Blah blah blah. So the radio station says we're not gonna play any of your artist songs, including the #1 song on our station. We're pulling it all.
Because they don't know, the audience at large only knows that the radio station was bringing them when the radio station actually wasn't doing it. So
right, but what I'm saying is it hurts the radio station to drop their hottest artist, and they're doing it because they're mad about something else. Because it might not have even been at the last minute. It might have been.
But they're hoping that the radio station hopes that the audience will side with them.
Do they really?
Yes. Exactly. They're going to get on the air.
Let me just say this. I was one of those program directors that pulled a major artist off the radio station. And it apparently didn't affect my ratings in the Arbitron because we had our best book ever.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I would have gotten another point or two if I was playing Prince, but I took his ass off.
But did the audience know why you took Prince off?
I never talked to the audience.
No, you're not supposed. They're not supposed to know.
It was an industry. I made a decision because his road manager disrespected me, and I thought that if she disrespected me, a major market program director, she was disrespecting every program director in the country.
So you had to take a stand.
So I took his ass off and I called the company and I told them why. And they begged and pleaded me to do it. But it took about a year for me to put them back on.
Lee?
Yeah. In fact, I pulled all Warner Brothers product off.
Get out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went there.
So I was one of those crazy guys that, when you did something wrong and offended me or my community,
you're going to make them pay.
I took a position. Absolutely.
So in retrospect, would you have done it again the same way? Just looking back on it, and now that you're older and more wise, would you have done the same thing? Because what you were doing is you were also depriving your audience of some great music. I'm just asking.
Well, if they really wanted Prince, they would they could have listened to WGCI, and they did. Some people did. And I never had anybody call the station and say, "Why aren't you playing Prince?"
Yeah, they didn't notice.
Yeah, that's interesting right there. I mean, that's a story
never.
within itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what though? I think I don't think people really give a crap as much about which station they get their music from, as long as they're getting it. At least back then, because you couldn't just buy anything.
This was pre-internet, before the internet had any kind of impact at all, and maybe the reaction might be different today. But I submit to you that most people in a certain age bracket, they don't give a damn whether the local radio station is playing or not. I was having a conversation with somebody just the past couple of days, and they asked, "Well, do you listen to station XYZ?" I said, "I don't have a car."
Right.
So the only reason I would listen to them if I had a car is that's what they.
Oh, FM. That's what my grandparents listened to. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So there's a generation or two now that probably can't tell you who's on WKYS in Washington, D.C.
That's absolutely right, Lee.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Or any other major station.
But what's so funny is that there are still radio stations out there trying to go after these young people that are not listening to radio, don't give a crap about radio at all. For example, look at Power 106 in LA. They got beat by KJLH. They got a full strength 69,000 watts reach all over LA, and this little Class A in Baldwin Hills is beating their ass.
Well, when you go back and you look at it, it's the positioning of where people are since the pandemic has come into place. And what's happening is the more familiar the music is coming from that station, the more time spent listening, which is the term TSL that we're used to using. If you look at All Access or Inside Radio, and they print out those vanity numbers, the 6+ numbers, and you'll see in every major market, the top three formats are classic rock, adult rock, and classic hits.
That all target old people.
That all play music from the 70s and 80s for the most part, and the audience knows every freaking song.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So they don't have to sit there and guess, and that's what's going on with hip hop. You turn on the station, they're only locked in. They have shrunk their audience for radio down to this level.
So why do hip hop stations still play a bunch of new shit that nobody cares about?
They don't have anything else to play because they call themselves hip hop.
No, but there's hip hop. Hip hop has been around for how many years now? I mean, seriously, if you just look at the past 10 years, there's enough really good, strong hip hop songs to fill up any radio station. They just don't want to play it past a few years because it's not current. That doesn't make them seem hip.
Their audience doesn't tune into that.
What is a hip hop song?
A song that's in a category called hip hop /rap. Song. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What?
That's what it is.
If you have to ask what hip hop is, you probably don't need to be in this conversation.
What?
That's what it is.
What?
It's a category of music. That's all it is.
A genre. It's a genre. GENRE.
Yeah. And as we go down the radio rabbit hole.
What?
That's all it is.
Look.
What?
Before we get stuck in the radio rabbit hole, I do have something I want to throw up. Okay. We are at the 20-year anniversary of 9/11.
Oh, Negro, I knew you were going to say 9/11. I don't want to talk about no freaking 9/11.
Well, they got that little mute button next to your microphone. Just hit
they sure do.
What? Hit the mute button and stare into the camera like you tell us all to do.
Hey,
it is all over. The place right now dealing with the 9/11 situation.
Ron loves depressing people. That's what it is.
And You know, I don't know about you all, but I remember it very clearly because I was actually supposed to be on an airplane that day flying to New York. You know, so you forgot to hit the mute button.
Yeah. Hey, it's on every TV station, every network. I'm just like, you know what? It was 20 years ago.
But it was history. See, you don't have
history. I can read history when I can read it. I can watch a documentary.
For it.
Just don't have it stuff it down my throat every 5 minutes. I just like,
okay.
What? I hate this time. Listen, I love my birthday.
Yeah.
But around when September 11th rolls around, every single year they run the same footage over and over again on TV. And this is one of the problems I have with news in general is that they run a lot of the same stuff. They want to depress the country just so they can get some ratings. So I'm sorry, Ron. Go ahead. I will shut up.
I don't think it has anything to do with depressing the country.
Listen, I work with a news station. I know that's exactly what they do.
Juvenile, opinion.
But that's what they do. I'm telling you, Ron, that's what they do. I worked at a news station. That's exactly what they do, and they do it for ratings. But go ahead. I'm not going to say anything.
Well, we all know that sensation sells.
Right.
And
go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
The sizzle reel. But once again, standing in a radio station in Columbia, South Carolina, watching the second plane hit a building starts to make you think about where the hell you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it opens you up beyond, everybody's talking about 9/11. And now, I mean, how do you even, I hate it when I heard it today, the anniversary of 9/11 is coming. That's eerie. That's freaking eerie to even say that. But at the same time, it was a story that was being told that we really didn't understand because it was above our heads. It was above our heads.
Is that what Ken was just saying?
I'll drink to that.
Is that what Ken was just saying about it being an inside job?
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but it was making a connection going all the way. And see, that's why it was so important for the Obama administration to be the administration to capture him and take him out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bin Laden.
All right. Before we go any further with that, I thought one of the coolest things, well, not cool, but I thought one of the feel-good episodes of that were the students that George Bush went to check out. They interviewed some of those students 20 years later.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a feel good, cool thing, and asked them how they are, and what how was the president coming to see them at that time? How do they feel? Now that's a feel good.
You mean when they whispered in his ear, and we saw it on TV, and then he was looking straight crazy?
Mm-hmm. He always looks straight crazy.
I don't think those kids at that time knew about that.
No.
They just knew that the president was in their classroom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were in like kindergarten or something, right?
Right. But 20 years later.
Right. When he found out about it.
Right. And then the guy goes on stage and because he always had that deer in the headlights kind of look. And then they go, and then he just has this look like,
oh shit.
Yeah. And then he gets up and walks away. And the kids are probably going, well, what happened to Smokey and the Bear?
My favorite George W. Bush moment is when he got those shoes through at him.
I was getting you read my mind.
That was hilarious.
He did it.
Look, he could duck some shoes, doctor. I mean, he missed two. I mean, two.
That was good shit,
and
right?
Didn't lose his composure.
Not at all.
Right back to it.
Right.
Like he was used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm used to getting shoes thrown at me.
Yeah.
Oh man,
people like Deion Sanders.
Hey, Bates, how you going? Cause I got one.
What you got,
man?
We through with 9/11 already?
Yeah, come on, man. Let's keep it moving.
Okay,
let's keep it moving.
Thank the Lord.
But I got going back to where we are since all you guys are radio heavyweights.
Well, before we go back to the radio, I got a question.
Oh shit!
I got a question for Mike. Okay. How does it feel living in the state of Texas where your potential baby mama cannot get an abortion?
Don't go up in there. Hey, if it ain't yours, don't go up in there. See, that's I'm gonna go right to it. And people may think that what you just did was staged. Me and you never talked about this. Hey, don't go up in there.
Lee, do you see what you created here? Do you see these Negroes? You invited them on your show, dude.
Don't blame me.
You.
Okay, Lee. This
has nothing to do with it.
This is a guess who.
Raw dog.
This is a guess who. This is a guess who.
And these words don't belong to you. You ain't gonna get it back.
All right. So it's been some help. It's been some help or proposed help for Black owners by the FCC. Proposed help, right?
Oh man, don't start me on that one.
I got to. So, but listen, there was a former FCC chair that does not support the fact that they want to bring back, or that these 9 other former FCC guys are in favor of instituting the tax certificate policy. And I bet you none of you heavyweights, Buck, Mike, I bet you y'all can't guess who this FC chair was that put thumbs down on it.
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about. I just read the story. I have a Facebook group page. It's called the Programming Department. Mm-hmm. Everything you're talking about is on that article. But
so I need to go to read that in order to know what this Negro's talking about.
Well,
because I don't know what he just said.
It's actually a deeper story than what he's even talking about, because it's crazy. There's a representative out of North Carolina that they've been trying to open up diversity for broadcasters. And so basically they're getting exposed. So now you're getting these ex-FCC commission people who are trying to come back and save the day for the FCC not doing shit. As a matter of fact, if you get a chance, there's a chart that shows the actual percentage of ownership of women versus men versus people of color. Do you know on this chart that only 2%, the Black ownership rate is at 2%?
Less than 2. But go ahead.
What is the
1970?
Yep. What is the what is the certificate?
It was probably higher than 2%.
But what's the certificate thing? Yeah. What is the certificate thing? That's what I'm lost.
The tax certificate says for women and minorities or people who have been disadvantaged from buying a radio station, that if you own a radio station, okay, and you sell it to me, the tax off the profit gets written off. You don't
no capital gain.
No capital gain.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, guys. They can bring back that tax certificate, but unless you have the money to pay for that station in cash, you can't get the finance.
That's it.
That's the
you can't get the finance, you said?
No,
not nowadays, because
unless the owner that's going to sell the station
was going to finance it for you.
All right, I got my hand up.
On the finance.
I got my hand up.
Okay.
So here's the other part. So I forgot the number. It's called HR 7, whatever it is. Okay. Uh-huh. So Representative Butterfield and this other guy, they came out with this proposal. It went through the subcommittee of the House and it didn't pass because it had an incubator program in it, which said if one of the big consolidators sold you the station, they could get money from the SBA to lend you to buy it. And the House wouldn't pass it. So they had to take the bill back and send it back through without the incubator part in it to get it passed. And it's only passed the subcommittee of the House at this point.
And they pulled it out because I think they know it would be a bad deal, because most of the stations that they're going to put up for sale are going to be anemic in terms of power and coverage, and they're going to sell off the garbage. to
well,
the minorities.
some of it's that, but the other thing is the consolidators are not going to take they're like, if you want to buy it and you say we got to go through this program, then buy it.
So
okay, we not going to finance it to you. Hell, what the hell do we need to carry the paper for? We're not a bank. That's basically what they said. We're not a bank. We're not doing that.
So then again, here it comes. So then the NAB says they're petitioning. Well, we need to reduce the caps. We need to have more ownerships of stations.
The National Association of Broadcasters have lost their freaking minds. The proposal that was put on the table said that there should be a possibility that one radio company own all the AMs in one town and all the FMs.
Well, nobody gives a shit about the AM, so
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't. That's foolishness that you would sit here and give one group a chance to own all the AM stations or all the FM stations in a particular town. That's ridiculous.
Well, but does anybody give a shit?
Ain't well my ass. No.
Anybody give a crap?
We've been disadvantaged. And then going back to the other piece, Reggie, that's really crazy is once again, disadvantage don't have no color to it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See, that's another word that they slipped in there. They said women, minorities, and people who have been disadvantaged. Let me go back.
That could be anybody. Yeah.
Let me go back to the chart. 2% today, if you pull up the chart, if somebody goes to the programming department, find it. I got the chart right on there. It's only 1 or 2 stories down. You know what the white ownership level was at? 67%. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And foreigners can now own broadcast properties.
Well, that's the big thing.
When did that just happen? That was like always been
happen.
Like, no.
Man, who you think Rupert Murdoch is?
I know.
Well, here's the other problem. Wall Street came out about 6 months ago and said after iHeart, I'm sorry I had to bring up the name, after iHeart was $24 billion in debt and decided to do restructuring through bankruptcy, Wall Street said they weren't lending radio any more money. So now what's happening?
Because a lot of Wall Street money got flushed.
It's got flushed. Think about it. You flushed $24 billion? Some people had a chance to, they had a chance to wash under their arms because they was deep underwater.
Mm-hmm.
They were $24 billion in debt. Okay, they wiped out a lot of people. One of the companies we all know and love, well, I won't say we know them and love them, but it's been around. They're one of the first companies now that the majority of their stock is foreign owned because they're banks.
Must have been Cumulus, ain't it? Or the
No, you close. Well, I'll bring it up. It's Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
So most of their money that they're bringing in is taking control of the station because it's called equity.
But I'll ask again: does anybody care about radio at this point?
Well, let me say this: especially black broadcasters should care. Now, Lee brings up a great point, but he brought it in sideways, respectfully. If they told, if NABOB or any of these other organizations was able to successfully get the consolidators to sell off 2% of their stations, we can't afford to buy it. Period. So they don't have to acquiesce to that. But the National Association of Broadcasters wants to be their friend because that's how they fuel their organization. So they're saying, well, hey, I ain't mentioning no names, but this big consolidator over here with 850 radio stations, I don't know, you know who I'm talking about, and this other one over here with 425 radio stations, they would like to just say, why should we have... See, it's all about competition, guys.
Competition?
They don't want competition.
Oh, of course not.
They don't want competition. So then you say, let's raise the cap, and one company in Raleigh can own all the AM stations. One company in Columbia, South Carolina can own all the FMs. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. And I'm grateful and thankful to the National Association of Black-owned Broadcasters, because I thought they were somewhere hiding under a rock, and they came out against it. And now the 9 people who were past commissioners that Professor Reggie's talking about are coming out. And so I was breathing a sigh of relief. But here, over the last 24 hours.
Okay, so here's the thing. And the cat that was against it was the cat that effed it up in the first place, who said radio is nothing but a product. The boy Mark S. Fowler. That was Reagan's boy.
That was him.
But the setup came under JC. JC set it up. And then when Mark came in, he just went on and he just did it. But JC was getting ready to give it away anyway. Because we all remember that's when the logs and stuff, all that stuff, we didn't have to deal with no logs. We didn't have to put no license or nothing. All that stuff was gone. People didn't, anybody off the street, Buck Wilde could come off the street and be put on the radio. When we used to have to take a test before then.
They get a third class and it had to be posted.
Hey, I missed the test. I never had to take a test.
Yeah. So, a cat named Buck Wilde could just come in and just do what he wanted.
I so did. I had to fill out that little yellow form and mail it in, and that was it.
All the login requirements, everything was gone. And so that was Mark S. Fowler who put what JC set it up. But then Mark just went on and dropped the hammer on everything.
Okay, you had to go to the federal building to take the test.
I have a question.
And you couldn't dispute it.
And you couldn't dispute it.
I took that test like 4 times, and the only way I could pass that test is that the dude that was giving the test on that day wasn't there. Because if that dude was there, I never would have got my 3rd class license with broadcast endorsement. I never would have got it. Okay. And I still got the book.
I have a question. So as much doom and gloom as it looks like with the radio industry right now, realistically, what could it really take to bring radio back from the brink and make it great again? I mean, it's like somebody said the other day, just be patient. Just be patient. It's going to come back. It's going to turn back around. Everything always cyclical.
No. It has to be regulated again. It has to be regulated.
Lee, you're the biggest expert in this room.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest expert, but I don't think it'll ever be what it was.
It won't.
Right. It has to be regular. It has to be. I don't know how you think it's going to ever be like what it was in a deregulated situation. It was great when it was regulated, but they lied and said we ain't making no money. The only way you was losing money in radio is that you cut the linings out of your pocket yourself.
Right.
That's the only way.
Do you know what the last deregulated rule was? Or I think it was 6 or 8 months ago.
No, tell me what it was.
The main studio.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay. So somebody said to me, a very respected programmer, at Odyssey, said that he said Johnson & Johnson or Procter & Gamble, one of the big companies, he said they have discovered over the past few years that advertising on digital, Google, just all the digital platforms, turns out they're not nearly as effective as traditional media. So they've shifted all of their advertising back to traditional media. He says there is something to be said about, was it J&J? Who was it, Mike?
P&G.
P&G. Okay, Procter & Gamble. He said, if that turns out to be the case, if advertisers find out over the long term that it just doesn't really, it's not really effective to advertise on digital, then they won't have any choice but to come back to traditional media. And you know what? I think about when I'm on YouTube and there's a commercial coming up, I mean, maybe 1 out of every 1,000 commercials I will actually watch. But almost every time I skip ads,
Everybody
ads.
does.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
does.
So, and then on Facebook, I don't watch no ad on Facebook because a lot of times it's clickbait. They're just trying to get you to click on that shit. And I'm just like, like
streaming is the wild west of media.
It really is. So it's like if advertisers finally do realize that their money is better spent on traditional media and the money comes back to traditional media, could that be a turning point? I mean, I don't know. What would it take? Because right now, everybody's so scared in traditional media, in radio especially, they're so scared of losing everything that everybody's standing there like a deer in headlights.
You got to prove you got these audiences. And then traditional radio can't prove that they got these audiences now. They can't prove it now.
They
Not
can't
nearly as well as
afford
streaming.
Professor Reggie, they can't afford it because the company that does the ratings charges so much.
That's right.
Yeah.
And listen, and the PPM was a joke. The PPM is a joke. It's a joke. The diaries were better. At least people lied, and Arbitron would send them the $5. But at least you could get people to lie for you. Right. At least, but look, you wearing this pager, right? And you walking down the street, and then you hear this cat. Anyway, there's no store that you go into that you're going to hear a black station.
Yeah, but you know what PPM came about?
Any commercial radio station.
Right.
But
you're
PPM,
not gonna hear it.
But you know what though, Reggie? PPM came about because the advertisers demanded it. Advertisers wanted to know exactly who was listening to the radio so they know where to spend their money.
Listen, Buck Wild. You know Julian Davis?
Yep.
Do you know Julian?
The brother at Arbitron.
Do you know Julian Davis?
I don't know him personally.
Julian Davis commissioned. He put the money up for Arbitron at that time, and that they did a study on the PPM, and I was there on that committee. I was there.
Okay, and
so what you just said, not true. They were going after that PPM. Listen.
So why did they do it then? If it wasn't for the advertisers, because ratings are for advertisers. I mean, it's not for us to sit up there and stroke our dicks up because, we want to know who's listening to our radio station so we can brag on the radio. It's because advertisers want to know where to spend their money. So what was it for that? I don't get it. If it wasn't for that.
Black people weren't going to benefit from that at all. At all. There's always been no urban dictates on black radio. And I'm not talking about the other radio stations. I'm not talking about that at all.
I thought we were talking about radio in general. I didn't know.
I never talk about radio in general. I talk about black radio because radio in general, I'm not concerned about.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm concerned about black radio.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the bottom line.
Okay.
I set a target of 7,000 steps a day, and I only did 2,070. So that's it.
I heard that. Yeah.
So
you saying sample size is just way too.
Doesn't matter to me at all.
Thank you, Lee. And this is your show, so let's stop.
No, this is your show. I'm just one of the 6 guys.
I love.
I'm just
Let me say this, guys.
I'm a member of the band. Let
me say this. You're a great band leader, James Brown is actually the best, but you come in as strong number 2. There's a thing to be curious, and that's one of the things I love being on with you guys, especially Ron, Reggie, and Chris, because I'm getting to know you. Let me finish. I know enough about you, Buck, and Lee in a whole different way. I don't know them from a can of paint. When you meet somebody that you share ideas with, and these guys believe in history. History is killing us as a race because we don't believe in it. And I'm talking about African Americans. And you have to be prepared for any challenge that comes. And I'm going to say this on the World Wide Web, www. White folks are naturally nosy. They will take any test, anytime, any place. All you got to do is walk up to them and say, hey, I'm doing a survey on a guy that's holding a dog on this street news now. And I wanted to find out what breed it is. They will take it, volunteer, give you any information they got.
Good tip.
What will we do? We run for the hill because what you want to know for? We get very defensive. We shield ourselves. And what we're finding out is that it costs. Do you know Nielsen sends people to a meter holder's house to show them, if I can bring this on. Okay, the meter, right? I don't know if you probably can't see this. Okay, you can't see this. Okay.
Put my glasses on. Hold on.
You got to put the meter down in the socket. They go there to tell the people to put the damn meter in the socket, and a large portion of those people that they have to do that for are us.
You mean African Americans?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
What about Latinos?
I don't have a clue. It may be it could be a strong second, but once again, you have to be. We have to get away from fear, and we have to learn how to embrace the society because it's an open road. Those barriers, so you can't live with barriers in your mind. And that's what's holding us back. We live with barriers in our minds. I don't have a problem going sitting 3 hours. The DMV is the worst place ever for me. You go in there and they so tricky with their shit. You know, they'll say 1234, 1192. 938. You can't even keep up to find out if you're going to be the next person called at the DMV. And I don't know why they do that.
Random chaos.
And
it's random chaos.
And thanks for reminding me. My tags are expired now since my birthday just passed, and I didn't get new tags.
And you don't want to go.
I don't want to go. No, of course not.
No, you don't want to go.
But I'll go tomorrow. Thank you.
But
since you reminded me.
But see, if you was Joe White man, you'd be outside waiting on them to open.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, what time did they say they freaking open? I've been here since 5:38 this morning. But we sit here, we peek in the door, and I ain't coming down on my people. I'm just calling it the way I see it. We peek in the door. Hey. Oh, it's too many people in there. I'm coming back tomorrow.
But you know what? We are such a great people.
I wouldn't
want to be anything else.
I'm not against my race. But once again, we always have to have creature comforts that it's like the voter rights. There's nothing in the voter rights bill that stops a person from voting. Right. I don't need somebody to, if they say, well, no longer you'll be able to get somebody to give you water. I don't need nobody to give me no damn water. I don't need the local high school band to play for me. I got my ID. I got my voter registration card. I got everything I need.
Hold on, what state is that, Mark Clifford? You got to make an appointment for the DMV.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's like that.
I don't think Georgia's like that.
Illinois,
you don't have.
Is Illinois like that?
In California, you don't have to make an appointment. But what's interesting, if you do, you still got to get in the same line with everybody else.
No, but it's going to be a line. So that's the challenge. See, we have to recognize the challenge.
Last year I went and the line was, it was during COVID though, but a line was literally around the block of the building.
I'm waiting in that damn line.
It was too freaking hot.
See,
listen,
you're our problem.
Hey, I went to in Georgia they have kiosks. All you got to do is just go and stick your little ID in the kiosk, pay your money, and they'll give you a sticker. I can do that this year. Yes.
And then you can go online and pay it in Illinois, and they'll send you your driver's license to you.
Well, I don't know about in Georgia, but in California you can do that online, providing you do it before it expires.
Right.
After it expires, then you got to go in.
Yeah,
mine expired. Mine expired.
Yeah.
I'm such a Negro sometimes. Don't let the light skin fool you, okay? This is NIGGA right here.
Mine expired last year in the middle of COVID.
Oh man!
Hey, Dr. Ron.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't Trump supposed to become the president in August?
Man, he was supposed to be back in the White House.
Well, hold on a second. Are you a Trump supporter, Ron?
No. I was just following it because Mr. Pillow, Mr. Pillow was had this big campaign, got everybody all fluffed up and everything, talking about, oh yeah, he gonna be on this day at this time. And then his final answer was, like they do on the game show, is that your final answer? The final answer was, the CIA messed with the numbers,
Hey,
I was wondering, did we miss that? Did we miss that? Did I miss it?
Somebody, speaking of miss, somebody asked me the other day, Professor, you appreciate this. She said, don't you miss Trump? I mean, we always had something to make fun of. Because he always embarrassed himself like on a daily basis. I'm like, well, not really.
No, I can't.
I don't even want to mention his name anymore.
Yeah, I
can't.
What? But he's going on tour. Yeah. But Bill Cosby's going on tour, so you ain't.
No, they canceled the tour.
They canceled the tour.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of COVID?
No.
Because he's old? Is that what it is?
Because he'll take your glass and put it on me.
2 drink minimum, and they all got pills in them. Fentanyl. They got fentanyl.
That goes back to what Lee was talking about earlier. He got banned in all these places. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, what did they call that?
Bad PR.
What was it? What was the name of the drug in that movie? The Mark Wahlberg movie. What was it called? What was that drug they said that you can't get it anymore?
Because Bill bought them all out.
No. What was it? Quaaludes.
Quaaludes.
He used to have Quaaludes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anybody know we can get some? I've never tried any of those drugs.
I hated to hear that the other day. I mean, he's out. He was going to go on tour. I'm not sure if I wanted to see him, on tour.
Right.
You know what? Hey, maybe it might have been like Paul Mooney. God rest his soul, my favorite comedian. But when you seeing some of his latest shows, it was so difficult to watch, especially when he went on Arsenio that last time. It was just like, oh goodness, please.
Yeah, they propped you up there, man. They get you back out there.
Yeah. Look, quick shout out all the way down in Florida, Miss Chandra Gore, another radio personality hanging out with us tonight.
Hey.
Yeah, she's in there.
There she is. There she is right there.
Y'all so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, I really enjoy this Thursday night thing. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially because I ain't got shit else to do.
Well, see, I hope you noticed the demonstration I did when I canceled the mic and turned the camera off.
Oh yeah, they started talking about Radio Ron was out. I was laughing my butt off. Yeah, I knew exactly what you was doing.
Right, because let's backtrack a little bit. I'm glad y'all peeped that. So Ron,
I didn't see that. What happened?
And Buck was like, I don't want to talk about 7. I don't want to talk about 9/11 or 7/11. I don't want to talk about nothing to do with 11. But then Ron was like, fuck y'all, and then went to cut the mic off and the camera off and went probably to the bathroom.
He was gone.
He probably went to go jack off.
He was gone.
He went to go jack off.
Ron has already said since we've been here, I don't want to freaking talk about radio all the damn time.
Not all the time.
We took that turn. When Reggie put it out there, we took that turn.
I was like,
he was out. I was over here cracking up. I said, damn.
Hey, Chris, can you get another woman on here so I can have some fun?
Who's the other woman? Oh, when the people was there. Okay.
Can you get a woman on here so we can have a guest?
Oh shit!
Something interesting. Hey, something interesting.
Professor.
Professor, watch your mouth, young man.
Hey man, you can't be verbally raping women on the show, man.
Hey. It's all in fun, baby.
It's called virtually. He's virtually.
It's all in fun.
No, it's not. That was assault.
That shit was funny. And she liked it, nigga. She liked it.
You was the only one having a good time.
She liked it. And your mama woke me. She said she liked it too.
Here we go.
Wilde was like a predator on that.
Oh, he was lusting.
Oh man,
he was lusting.
He just went hard. I just want to hear you talk. I just want to hear you talk.
Yeah, that's it. That's the look right there. You know what you should have did, Buck? You know what would have been the move that would have got you over?
What?
Was the dog. You should have brought out the dog. Like you had the dog out a few minutes ago.
You guys are so uncouth, okay?
I mean, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're gonna call us off uncouth, and you
not the eyebrow. You just
Hey.
got the eyebrow, dog.
Yeah, you got the eyebrow on that. I mean, you're gonna call us up uncouth, and we had to be cool because you was howling at the moon.
Hey, I still am a classy guy.
Oh, hey, all right.
What, fifth grade?
I don't think they use class to describe you at all, my brother.
Yes, they do.
No,
it's just maybe third class, but still.
Now I'm gonna say one thing. I want to say one thing in the defense of Buck Wilde.
My man.
He brought a lawyer to the case.
I just want to say one thing.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Chris.
If it don't fit, you must have quit.
Okay. And that's not literally for you, Buck. So don't listen to what he just said. Okay.
I'm not even listening to that nigga at all.
I know, because he little dirty ass mind. He was like, fit. You think I can make it fit? Oh, damn. I want to make it fit.
Chris, what you said, Mike, sir? Go ahead, sir.
Chris, okay. And I know they're friends of yours or whatever the case may be. Okay, so you brought them in, and their body language is what I think Buck was reading. And that's kind of what made me ask the question, because there was some weird body language.
Yeah, like they was just doing it. Yeah, that's it.
What you mean? You mean relationship?
No, they were just doing the SIX.
Oh yeah, right.
The SIX.
We thought, well, no.
He didn't went all the way off, boy. He didn't went all the way off.
I thought that they were a couple, and something just started unraveling while they were on. Did you see it, Ron? Something was starting to unravel. And then here comes Buck. Now
he's on the girl.
Yeah, he's making it worse.
Putting it to the test. Hey, put her to the test.
I think at that point, she was feeling a little uncomfortable.
She was.
No, she wasn't. She was smiling and laughing and enjoying my company.
That was the front, because you kept, dude, I'm telling you, there was some weird body language between those two. Okay.
Well, yeah, because he was right there. Exactly. If she was alone, it would have been a different story.
Well, but but here's the thing. Okay, what relationship do they have if she just got in the country yesterday? She didn't just get in town. She just got in the country 2 days, Ron. I mean, Chris, am I correct? There you go, Professor.
But see, the dead giveaway was Chris kept apologizing the whole damn time. Like, I'm sorry for these guys. I'm stuck with them, but hey.
Hey.
Right, exactly.
Hey, guess what? She had a good old time.
And then sneaky ass Buck Wilde, he started rolling his hands together. He was like, "Ooh, I think I see something. Ooh, wait a minute, what's that space in between them?"
She had a good old time, and he went away. She had a good old time.
Let me say the following.
Okay.
First of all, I did not know. See, Ron's full of shit. See, first of all, the whole thing was trying to get the message out there. Now, I just met these people over the past couple of weeks, and they approached me about
what message was that? I don't know.
How'd you meet him over the past couple of weeks? And she just got to the United States day before yesterday.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I known her prior to that when she was working in Chicago.
I'm just checking.
Right, that's true.
So she went to Sri Lanka and had come back from Sri Lanka to Chicago
to get herself
right. So
get her some D.
Anyway,
now she didn't come to get no D. Now, I don't think it was
really.
Him.
Oh, for somebody else? From Buck Wilde. Yeah, baby.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm just fooling around. Go ahead.
I'm used to it now. So
I'm
at
quiet.
the time, when this was going down, I figured, okay, hopefully they'll have a sense of humor. So I know, well, if they were dating or not, they're there about the message about the female, the veterans and homeless and everything. And so we were pushing that. I never knew anything about her personal background. And so then when we were on actually doing the show, I figured, okay, that's between them. I got nothing to do with that. We're here to promote the message. So then when that started to come up between the both of them, the marriage proposal and everything else, I'm like, okay, this is not going how I thought it would go.
Well, you know what? It's this Negro who started it all. Are you guys gonna get married? It was you, Mike.
The
Come on.
body language was
exactly.
We got a witness here that says talking about how accent turned him on. Yeah,
that was me.
She was creeped a little. Okay,
who said that? Who said that?
We got a witness.
That was a guy.
Yeah,
he was a dude. He don't know what he's talking about.
And wait a minute. And
what's
then
up,
Red
Jed?
Bean
What's
said,
up, Jed?
Exactly in caps. Okay.
She knows she loved it.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm gonna say this once again, and Buck, you need to send me over my retainer because I'm defending you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Once again, her body language was, I ain't really with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here and we working on this project together because I just got here from
Sri Lanka. Right.
Sri Lanka.
Wait, hold on a second. Mike, you don't think they were sleeping together at all?
I'm not sure. It was something weird there, and Chris knows what I'm talking about. It was
like
something...
maybe he wasn't into her like for real. Because he kept saying, "Oh yeah, she's my
y'all
spokesperson."
Please don't encourage Buck Wilde. You know he's been asked for her number, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't need her number. She'll call me. she'll call me. Okay. What y'all talking about?
That was perfect.
Oh,
that's it right there. Yeah.
Oh, look, the wine that kicked in on the professor, y'all.
I love it. Go ahead, professor. That's all I'm saying, and I think Chris saw it too. They just got weird.
Yeah.
Where they were at.
Right, especially when you start talking about marriage. He's like,
I'm trying to figure out who is the person because okay, let's go back and review when Chris was setting us up for the show. He said that he was bringing on somebody that was talking about disadvantaged women getting housing.
Right.
Right. I have a question. What is Reggie doing with his hands and shit? Like, what was all that?
He trying to protect the innocent. That's what he's doing. He's trying to protect the innocent.
Hilarious.
Okay,
sorry.
And I don't know why we getting two leads on at the same time. That's kind of spooky.
Look, he can't get one phone to work right. That's usually the case.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, now all of a sudden, I asked the question because I'm trying to figure out who's the representative of the disadvantaged woman that can't get a house from the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it got real weird there. Their body, they were both turned away from each other a little bit. And then that's when I asked the question. I'm like, well, who's in charge here?
And who's giving up the booty?
And so when Buck sensed that, he went straight for the...
okay, there you go.
Well, okay.
When Buck sensed that, he went straight for the drug. A drunk man could see that.
Yeah.
So I would like to say one last thing, and
that
hopefully
you win Buck Wild.
Hopefully we can move on from this.
Yes.
I think it is remarkable that they had such an impact that we are here a week later still talking about them.
No, we talking about you. Them ain't you. We finished with them. We talking about you because you were a fireman last week. You saw that.
You had your hoes out. You had your hoes out.
You brought out the hook and ladder. That's right. And you brought your hoes out because if there was a fire, you was gonna put it out, baby. With the quickness, because you
had your hoes out, Jack.
And this is what's amazing, right? We in cyberspace, and I smell smoke. I smell smoke.
Hey.
I got to tell y'all what I did to Buck Wilde today. You know, I called him up. I said, Buck Wilde, did you get your singing telegram? The lady butt naked outside your door singing happy birthday? He said, wait a minute, hold on. I said, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I got a text here. She said you wouldn't answer the door. His ass was looking like,
he was looking,
motherfucker.
He was hoping.
I was like, you know what? That is some juvenile shit right there. Okay. This nigga right here. I'm like, really, dude?
I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I got a text here. She said you wouldn't answer the door. I know his ass was like, oh shit. Tits and ass, I missed it. He said you probably could have gotten somebody to do that, you know.
And then I said, what did I say after that? I'm like, do they still do that? Are there still services that you can
in Tuscaloosa?
You can still call?
No, not in Tuscaloosa, bro. No.
Probably not. Oh,
now let me ask you a question, Buck. Okay, now I was born July 17th, 1957 in Columbus, Mississippi. 5 days later, my parents took me to St. Louis, and I never grew up in Mississippi. I went there every summer. How far is
thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
How far is that from Columbus, Mississippi?
Probably about 40 miles. It's not that far. Hey, listen, when I was on 95.7, which was licensed to Tuscaloosa, we used to get calls from Columbus, Mississippi all the time, and I had never had any desire to go there.
All right. So my question is, what are the women like down there? You're about to move there within the next 5 to 7 days.
Take a guess.
7 hours.
Take a guess. Okay, just in general, small town girls, when they grow up, if there are any fine ones, again, there's no interracial mixing in small towns. This doesn't happen. Still not allowed in the South.
Yeah, you know that boy Buck Wild who's in town? Yeah, he's been kind of talking to one of our girls.
So
you don't have to do something with him.
So no interracial mixing. So you can imagine that they're not a whole, because of the whole genetics thing, not a whole lot of beautiful women, but the ones that are beautiful, what does everybody tell them?
They look good.
You need to go.
You might have said they call them a red bone.
You need to go to the big city and make something. Make something of your life. Go to the big city and make something of your life. They all jet to Atlanta.
So the moral of this story is that we should get together as a group and get you a 6-pack of lubricant because you're gonna need it.
I already got it. You don't need to buy me shit. Okay.
We just wanted to get you a parting gift, just in case.
Astroglide, baby, it works.
Really?
A little
does it have lanolin in it? That's all I want to know.
So you know what? A friend of ours, Apollo, just told me today that aloe vera actually works well too.
Go back. What does the lanolin do?
Well, I used to go with aloe vera and what was that? Lanolin.
Lanolin.
They were sisters. They stayed over there in the Robert Taylor.
Right.
I went with both of them.
I don't even think Tuscaloosa has any strip
They was over in the 8-ounce homes.
Come on, Chris. Help him out.
No, Robert Taylor, baby.
Robert Taylor. Who was that used to use that line and said, "Does it have lanolin in it?" That was a movie line.
That was a movie line, but
I never heard of lanolin.
When you need lanolin, make sure you have Monet.
Oh, absolutely. Lanolin.
Oh, money.
Man, lanolin, she's sweet, but she ain't as good as aloe vera, though.
Yeah, it keeps you from chafing.
I don't even think Tuscaloosa has any strip clubs.
Wow.
Got to go to Birmingham.
Really?
Oh man.
And I don't plan on going to Birmingham.
And that's another question. What would the strippers really look like in
Birmingham? A lot of strippers came from Atlanta. On the weekends they would come to Atlanta and then come from Atlanta and then go back to Atlanta and strip during the weekend because they can make a lot more money.
Is that a military base in Birmingham?
Hell no.
No.
Ain't nothing in Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
They got a third
I think it's a
minor league
town.
baseball team, the Birmingham Barons.
Over there. Don't they have a college team over there too in Birmingham?
No, that's Tuscaloosa. Got the University of Alabama, the number one football team in the country.
Okay.
College football. So college football is really big.
Yeah.
SSEC.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. How do you know the strippers come from Atlanta?
I asked.
Yeah, how would you know that?
I asked them. You know what I mean? I'm in the strip club talking to the girls like an idiot.
Yeah.
And you know that kind of like is that's been like a strange dynamic for a while, because a lot of the some of the students at the HBCUs, that's where they do that, and they make their living as strippers while they paying their tuition and stuff like that.
Yeah, Stillman College is the one in Tuscaloosa. They don't really have the biggest. It's not the biggest school in the world.
And they'll travel to Atlanta, and then they go down to like where FAMU is.
Yeah, but you know what? Somebody is a lot of strippers don't want to strip where they live because they don't want their dad coming in and seeing them naked, or their family. You know, it's honest. Honestly, it's truth.
Now, how far away is? I can't remember how far away Tuskegee is. You know,
Tuskegee's outside of Montgomery, so it's about 2 hours.
Okay,
2.5 hours, something like that. Well, for Birmingham, it's probably another hour from.
You know what I thought was always strange, and when I lived in Columbia, South Carolina, there was a strip club in Charlotte, and they serve food.
Oh, probably the best wings you ever had, huh?
No, I never ate. I mean, I never food.
Not food, right?
Yeah. Strip club in Dallas had some of the best wings you ever had in your life. People would come there for lunch. People would come there for lunch just for the wings and the entertainment.
Is that what they call it now? Wings? Yeah.
Just the way she moves.
I can't put the two together of eating while they're stripping.
Oh, now wait a minute now. All right, I got to go. Y'all talking nasty. You talk about it being eating while stripping.
He said, and Mike says, if you're talking about thighs, it's totally different.
Yeah,
but wings, nah.
I got to go. Y'all talk about you don't know what it is to eat while stripping.
Well, maybe the wings aren't like that. Maybe
they make candy panties and all this old kind of stuff.
Maybe the wings are like this.
What is that? Candy panties. What is that?
Let me tell you something. And Buck knows him, Frank Ski. So when I was consulting WHUR in 2014. Frank used to, he was the DJ at the Stadium Club in DC. And, I hadn't been in a strip club in a long time, so I'd ride over there with him every Friday. And, going to a strip club is really like a club for people. I saw dudes in there with their girls, their wives. I mean, it wasn't a dirty old man scene.
Strange.
I mean, they popping bottles. I'm seeing women making it rain.
Yeah.
At a high level. I mean, I was really, really shocked.
Hey, you know why a lot of them make it rain, right? Because they want to seem like they got a lot of money, so they're showing off how much money they got by making it rain. It's not even necessarily
who are they proving it to, like their girlfriend?
Everybody who's watching.
But why would a woman
bitch, watch this? Bam! I got it like this.
Want to do that?
Man, that's
because she's got ego too.
That's an alternate lifestyle thing. We got to interview them and have them come on and let them tell us, because we'll never
bring them on. Bring them on.
Talking about women that make it rain or strippers?
Yeah, both. Women that make it rain.
And we need to talk to women that make it rain. Chris.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh, me? Oh, I make it happen. Okay.
Yeah, make it happen.
I mean, you brought in the Odd Couple last week, and we couldn't figure it out.
Don't you book the guests, Chris? Come on.
Hell no, man. Oh, I quit. Okay,
now. Come on.
Hey, Ron. That's really
brought in the Odd Couple last week. We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, he did. He did bring in the Odd Couple.
No, I didn't. Okay. I quit.
Look, I had never even heard of Sri Lanka.
You can't quit.
We started talking about that shit last week, Sri Lanka. I'm like, where the fuck is that at? Let me look
it's
that
South
up.
Asia, nigga. South of India.
All right, Lee. I was going to say, Ron, Chris done quit. I thought he was dead ass here.
No.
I'll see what I can do. I'll go into my stripper Rolodex and see if I can get some.
Yeah, come on, man.
And I like it.
Pull
just
some
in case she moves.
Hey, I'm
Chris,
sure.
pull some strings. No pun intended.
Hey, I'm sure Chicago's got plenty. Chicago got some fine women, boy.
Well, what was funny back in the day, and Reggie will attest. This was back in the day where we were both working at Kennedy King College at WKKC.
Candy Cane College.
No, Kennedy King College.
Oh, I thought he said Candy.
He's still on the stripper shit. So no.
Sorry.
That's all right. Kennedy King College, KKC.
Like shit.
No, ain't no Candy Cane shit. Anyway, so we would have students come by in the hallway, in between classes. There was a young man I used to talk to like every Monday. He watched football. He was, he had a stuttering problem. So, you just have to go through the stutter and understand what he's talking about. So one morning, as everybody's going back and forth, going to class, he stopped and starts to point in the hallway. Ooh! I thought he was having. I said, "Hey, man, you having a stroke? You all right?" No. That girl. I'm like, there's like 95 girls on the hallway. Which girl are you talking about? The one on the left. I said, "Oh, her. What about her? She a thippity twip. She a thippity twip."
Oh, damn.
What the hell are you talking about? Oh, she's a stripper. She strips. Right. The thippity twip.
Oh my God.
I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. I had to translate. He saw her at the strip club that weekend.
Oh, he said she's a stripper.
Stripper.
She strips.
She's a stripper and she strips.
A stripper,
right. But the translation was that he said to a tippity twip. So you had to go past that to get to the translation.
To find out that he was talking about she's a stripper that strips.
Hey, exactly. Chris, how'd she look?
She's a stripper. She strips. She looks great. She had a stripper's body.
Well, there's some bullet hole strippers that you don't want to say that she's fine because she's just.
I'm gonna tell you something.
No, she was fine. No, she was.
She was
going back to the stadium club. Talking about money. The big push brooms. So when the girls would get done stripping, the guys would come out with big push brooms to push all the money. Together. That was crazy.
I thought each stripper is supposed to pick up their own money.
That's what I thought. So the guy would come out with this big push broom and push
probably because they had to gather up all the tips and split them with the bartenders and the that's probably what it was. Yeah, they got to split those strips. And so it really doesn't do any good for a stripper to be really good and get a whole bunch of money because she's going to have to divide it up anyway. So.
Hey, Chris,
it's a lot of money in those stadium clubs. In that stadium club, this is a lot of money, man.
Yeah. Oh man. They had the bottle service where they bring out the bottle when it's sparkling.
Right.
And I asked
if Vanessa says she got a stripper Rolodex, Vanessa, you gonna hook us up?
Wait a minute! Look at her profile picture. She's like a swimming suit or something.
Hey!
I think she's talking about Chris mentioning the fact he was going to go into his stripper Rolodex.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Vanessa, we see you, girl.
Oh, don't get Buck started, man.
Hey,
Chris, Chris, do you have something that you need to share with the class?
Nope.
Just checking.
He said nope. He went instantly. Nope.
Hell no.
Wait a minute. Let's
have nothing to say.
Let's yield to the veteran on the team, Mr. DJ Road Runner.
Coyote's after you.
You've been doing this a lot longer than all of us. I'm sure you've been in most states, most cities, and got more numbers.
All tall and skinny with a big old afro.
Sir?
Player?
No. I used to be, but I'm not no more.
Uh-oh.
I'm retired.
I can imagine what Lee was. What was Lee like? Lee, what were you like when you were young, like in your mid-20s?
It starts with a W, I bet.
Seriously. Because you're so cool now. You know what I mean? Cool and kind of conservative.
Wait a minute. Vanessa says she ain't scared. Wait a minute. Put that back up.
Yeah, she wasn't scared.
She said, I ain't scared.
I ain't scared of you, knuckles.
Vanessa is a professional, by the way.
Well,
professional what?
She's a sex therapist.
I got good insurance. Where's she work out of?
We got help. We got help from Buck Wilde on the show. Hey, Chris, Chris, you got to get her on the show.
Wait a minute, Vanessa, where's she from? I got good insurance.
That is not a bad idea, though. Actually,
Chris, you got to get her on the show.
I think Vanessa is in Texas. Is it Texas?
Mike.
That is not a bad idea. Sex therapist.
Now, Mike, that goes back to that question earlier. Now, don't mess around and get in trouble because you cannot get an abortion in your state now.
Oh, you can't get it. You go up in there. You may not be able to bring. Abbott shutting that down. That now you are not the father, and if you are, I got the baby.
That's right. Yeah, Vanessa's in Dallas. She's right.
Dallas. She's down here in the big.
Oh, I love the big. I love Dallas. I miss Dallas. Dallas has some fine women. Dallas has some fine women, boy. Oh,
did the Cowboys play tonight?
Yeah, they playing now.
Yeah.
Yep. It's right now. It's 26-28. It's tight.
Yep. It's the fourth quarter.
All
right. Well, I've enjoyed this as always.
Tampa Bay.
Dallas is ahead.
No, they're 2 points behind.
How much left in the game?
14 minutes, fourth quarter.
And if you're watching this after tonight, I know it's totally irrelevant because you know who won. I'm saying.
I'm still trying to be a Cowboy fan.
I am a Cowboys fan. Hey, man, you better learn the Jerry Jones way of programming. It's all about the money, baby.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, he don't give a damn about no damn winning and losing. This is about money.
Yep.
It sounds like I'm about to say it sounded like we were wrapping it up. I thought we were wrapping it up, but I guess not. Okay.
Do you know the TV rights they got last year was $400 million? And they was on TV Thanksgiving and Christmas. Look who the first one on the opener this week on Thursday night. Jerry, I lose every fucking game. But tell CBS cut the check.
Well, listen, do you think they would make more money if they won a Super Bowl?
It's not. They're at the status of legendary. They're a brand. Cowboys represent football. You go back to Landry and Emmett and all the people that they have a legacy. And see, people think it's fun to tear a legacy down. It's no fun to tear a legacy down. It is what it is.
Yeah, they make more money, I think, than any other NFL team. Is that right?
Dude, their merchandise, all of it. That's the only stadium I've been in that had a Victoria's Secrets.
Oh, wow.
And the cheerleaders became famous before the team did.
Before the team. Now you get it, Ron. They miss it. I'm in the barbershop today and everybody's trying to bait me in. I was like, I got nothing to say. Y'all can say they ain't shit. You can talk about them like a dog. Trust and believe me, that stadium is packed.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous stadium, too.
Oh, it's bad. Have you been in it?
Yeah.
You tell them about the screen. The screen is so big.
It's too big.
You can't watch the game. You trying to look down and watch the game.
And let me tell you, I had my girlfriend's brother came down from Canada, and I bought 2 tickets because he wanted to go. And I was like, okay. Do you know how much those tickets were? I paid $1,300 for 2 seats because they were good seats now, mind you. But the Jumbotron was so big,
you can't watch the game.
I couldn't even watch the game. I'm like, I just wasted $1,300.
Now, question. Now, would you say that the Raiders' new stadium in Vegas is better?
I haven't seen it.
It's better than the one that they did.
I haven't seen it either. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Now,
it's Vegas who gives a crap.
Even if it is better than
Sorry,
the
Lee.
Stadium,
I know you live there. Sorry.
Once again, it's all about the experience.
Mm-hmm.
The practice field.
They got a dome and they got levels that slide out.
I bet they got casinos in that bitch too.
All kind of high.
It'd be crazy if they didn't.
I know.
Yeah. They were talking about that.
It's close to the casinos, which is a bad idea.
Do they have prostitutes in there though? That's the.
Only in the locker rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Reggie. He's like, yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it goes full circle, Reggie.
Hey,
you know how
that's
it goes.
funny.
Got to bring
Reggie,
the topic back.
That was funny.
Bring it back.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But most professional teams now are into the marketing aspect of
what you talking about? Most professional teams, they got hoes?
At different area codes, baby.
That too. You know, look, the reporters stopped putting out, you know, so now they had to bring in sex therapists, you know.
From strippers to prostitutes.
I wonder, do the athletes be knocking down the real fine female reporters? I wonder. Because some of them was like
reporters used to be used to be their you know, whether they win or lose. That was their consolation prize.
They won.
You know, at one time. Then when they started letting women in the locker room, oh man. Whew. And then all of a sudden.
Hey, so that's just real? I mean, you hear about that, but I mean it was like real?
It was the 70s, bro.
Yeah, I was 5.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Right. Crickets.
Uh-huh.
And, hey, Reggie, remind me to send you some real crickets. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Y'all with these toys, man. I had Mike Love on my show the other day. He came on with his own theme music, man. I was like, go ahead on, boy. Hit it in. He came in, dun, 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 dun. I mean, he was in it. I was like, man. I said,
I was going to do it from the other office, and I was going to get Chris with bass. How low can you go, Def Bro? And I didn't have time to get it done. I was going to tear him up. As soon as he came on, bam. I'm gonna get you, Chris.
That's all right there, man. So, anybody got any last word? We're gonna wind it down. You still want to go? So it's up to y'all.
Now I'm hungry.
Me too.
Okay,
and it's too late to eat. Unfortunately,
no, it's not. I'm getting ready.
Why don't you guys meet at White Castle and have a good time?
Sliders! No.
They don't have White Castle down here.
I'm not dealing with no sliders. I can't handle them.
You got Crystal down here.
They slide in and they slide out.
That's right.
I do a drive-by and get sick.
I handle no sliders no more.
I used to like White Castle though in New York.
But after a certain age, my body can't take the sliders no more.
Well, it was good. It was good after a night out of drinking. You had to have something to settle that stuff down.
Man. I did that, and the place ain't 2 miles from my crib, and I thought I was gonna take a bite, and got in, man, and told the wife, "Don't you go to the bathroom," because that slider had hit me, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, appreciate you, Jed. Thanks for watching, dog. He was just saying it's a great show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Vanessa says she got toys, and I'm listening.
Lord,
man. Okay.
Yeah, she sells toys.
Those little toy parties. I'm like, do they demonstrate the toys?
She's the hookup.
Look, I'm gonna have to go do a search for her.
I thought you said she's the hooker. I'm like, you mean
man, Lee, come on now.
What?
No more hookers. Not until next week.
Can we get 7 days? Can we get a 7-day break?
I mean, let's let Buck calm down. Because he's still in Sri Lanka. Was that the place?
Yeah, that's he over there deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then she put that accent on. She put that accent on him.
Her British accent too. It wasn't even an Indian.
It was hot. Yeah. The accent was hot.
Yeah, it wasn't even an Indian accent. Yeah.
Oh man.
Although you know what, I like the Indian accent too. You know, Sri Lanka is like South India.
Yeah.
I like that Indian accent too.
You said if we have any final words, Chris, I'm gonna give words of
have
wisdom.
some final words. Just don't mention Lily. Jesus.
No.
That was her name.
I'm gonna give Buck some words of wisdom.
Oh shit.
If you keep on going like this, you'll get a ankle bracelet in no time.
As long as it's gold, baby. It's gold. That's kind of gay, isn't it? having an ankle bracelet. A little gold ankle
Oh my
bracelet.
God.
Little chain. It's like, oh. Sorry, that's not for me. No.
If it turns green, it's not gold.
Well, I won't find out. That's not for me.
My final words is, we said something earlier, Ron, in reference to, God's in control, and Professor Reggie talked about this as well. And you got to put him first, in all we do. And I mean, we on here and we having a lot of fun, but what you see here with us every Thursday night is a blessing, because we all got the equipment and the time to do it, and we're serving our purpose. We don't want this to be a serious show. We want to have fun. We just want to do something that's different, and we want to see somebody except outside of kids always on. Let's talk. And that's why we talk about everything.
And when I think that God has a sense of humor too. We all think that God is so serious and he's always telling us what to do and how we're screwing up and how we're sinning and all that, which is he does. But I think that God has a sense of humor too. And so, stuff like this, it's like he knows we're kidding a lot of times, most of the time when we talk about stuff. So, I think it's okay. Give him a little credit too.
Me too.
Amen.
FUNK.
Funk.
ENTELECHY.
I saw that earlier when it was posted.
So that's that shit you brought up from 3 hours ago.
Oh, absolutely. No, wait a minute, Buck. You got to come on in. That's every week.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
Listen. Okay. It's being real. How's your funkentelechy? Or funkentelechy?
I totally get it.
Funkentelechy. Yeah, and that was George Clinton talking about dealing with the Greeks. Because the entelechy or entelechy is a Greek word. And funk is ours.
Preach.
Okay, I still don't get it, but I'm sure it was really deep.
Preach.
It means being real.
Boom.
Preach.
Real?
Preach, Professor.
Okay, I'm gonna need to marinate on that one for a week, and I'll
listen. Get the Parliament's album and listen to Funkentelechy. That's all. Please get the Parliament's album.
Which album is that?
Buck is not a funketeer.
Oh, okay. Oh,
hey, I love funk. Hey, I'm from California. We love funk. Okay.
No, you don't know about
I just like the ones. I like the ones that are more hits, like Aqua Boogie and shit like that.
Ain't that don't make me cuss, Buck, please.
What?
Don't make me.
That was a great song.
Aqua Boogie.
Yes, Aqua
Boogie, baby.
Man, get the No, man. If anything coming out of that, at that time, it was One Nation Under a Groove. Don't you F with me, man.
One Nation was
what you say? Say, Mike.
Just for the funk
of it.
Now, One Nation was unrivaled. Unrivaled. That was one of the best songs ever made. I'll give you that. But Aqua Boogie was just incredible.
I mean, all you did was the rock off the Aqua Boogie, and it was, Sir Knows the funk. That was, that was bullshit.
But the beat was so nice.
That funk had been cut at that point.
They was reaching for something with that.
But you know what? If you play the long version, the 12-minute version, and you get to the halfway when they stop talking, stop singing, and just went instrumental, that shit was mind-blowing. The track was so good. That's what I loved about the song.
That's why they gave you more of what you were funking for.
I'm a musician. That's what I love.
Well, listen. If you're going to get that deep with Parliament Funkadelic, then you have to check out Cosmic Slop, cause there's nothing on earth better than Gary and them boys with them two rock guitars. They killing each other.
I do love guitar solos. I do love
man. Guitar solo.
I'll check it out.
He was riffing through the whole thing, man.
Okay, I'll check it out. I love that.
I
love that.
I can't think of the other boy's name, but it was two of them, man. They was tearing each other up. It was as if they had both guitars and they was trying to shoot each other playing them solos, man.
Okay, I got you.
Dun, 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 it'll kill you, man. And he's screaming. That guitar is screaming all the way through that.
Lee, do you have any last words? Because I'm getting hungry, dude. For real.
I don't have a first word.
All right.
Oh,
Can we wrap this up? Can we wrap this up?
Words can't tell the story. I told you earlier that I'm still. Well, two things happened to me today.
Okay.
I didn't reach my target of the number of steps that I'm trying to do per day. Mm-hmm. That's number one. And then on my Android phone, sometime during the course of the day, the language changed to Japanese, and it took me about a half an hour to figure out how to get it back to English.
That's funny. That is so funny.
I'm trying to text my wife, and it's like in Japanese, and I'm going, what the fuck did I just say?
Maybe Corey was playing a trick on you, dude. Maybe he did that shit on purpose.
I told you.
I have no words.
Maybe your son.
Is that a Samsung phone? I told you about that.
Maybe your son did that on purpose. I bet it's a practical joke.
Phone.
Somebody hijacked me. Mm-hmm. What's the score, Michael? Mike?
26-28. We got
Dallas?
8 minutes left.
No,
Dallas still behind.
Yep.
2 points.
2 points, man. So let me say this, and we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Let your life's work be your ministry. Let that marinate. Let that be your ministry. All right. That's
deep.
Knee deep. You know, Mothership Connection. When Gabriel's horn blow, you better be ready to go.
Feet don't fail me now.
Thank you. Exactly. Oh,
let your ass follow.
Free your mind and let you. Thank you.
Woo!
Let's
take it to the stage, sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I got to say this before we hang up.
Sure.
So the last Parliament George Clinton concert I went to, he brought out his granddaughter.
Right.
Do you know what the name of her song was?
What?
Something Stankin' I Want Some. That's a badass damn record.
What?
It's called Something Stankin' I Want Some.
I never heard of it.
You got to look it up.
Who's the other?
His whole family traveled with him. Yeah.
Last time
he had the people on their feet. Everybody was saying something stinking. I want some.
Last time I saw them,
I want some.
Last time I saw them, they did one long song. It was just the melodies from each of their songs, and it's like they were so high out of their mind they didn't know what they were singing. I was like, okay, what is
something stinking? I want some, and it's like a steak, and I'm going back to get it. Good night.
All right.
I hear you. Look, once again, thank you so much. This has been Street News Now. Catch us every Thursday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 p.m. Central Time, and 6 p.m. West Coast. We do it every Thursday. Street News Now, 5 guys, really 6 guys, and you. We got to change the name of that. Go to YouTube channel and make sure you type in SNN, Street News Now. Subscribe, like, and share. For Dr. Ron, Professor Reggie Miles, Mike Love, Buck Wilde, and our fearless leader, Lee Michaels. I'm Chris Bates. We'll do it again next Thursday. Take care and be peaceful.
Love y'all.
Love you more.
On the one.